It is a split call, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, coming in as one of the final speakers on third reading of the bill means that I've actually come in quite late on this debate and quite late on the whole kaupapa, but I have to say that this is a bill that I truly and sincerely support, Mr. Speaker. I've already said in the House since I've come back to Parliament that addressing sexual violence is one of my main priorities in my time in Parliament, and this, Mr. Speaker, is one of the ways I believe that we can really support the victims, not just of sexual violence, but domestic violence and any sort of violence for that matter. I've seen the example about the poor woman in Invercargill whose rapist was released from prison and came to live next door to her, and there was nothing that she or the police could do to move that person on, and I just find that totally outrageous. I remember when it came up in the news, and I'm glad to see that this legislation is actually making that change so that any victims of violence, be they men, women or children, do not actually have to wake up in the morning and look over the fence or out their kitchen window and see the very person who attacked them or abused them right there, living in their face, and in fact re-victimising them every day of their life. So, Mr. Speaker, I truly do support this bill. I see that the victim has to go to the district court to get these non-contact orders applied, Mr. Speaker. One of the things that has come out of the Glenn report is the difficulty people have of being believed and being listened to, and I feel really sorry for these people that have to go to a court to talk to a judge and fearful that they may not be believed, that there actually really is an issue that the judge needs to take account of and to issue that non-contact order for them. I would like to think that as a society that we could actually find ways to support those victims to go through that process of approaching the judge at the district court. It's another one of the issues that I've heard spoken about when I've talked to victims of domestic and sexual violence, that they don't know where to go or who to ask to help them through the processes, the processes of the system. And so that little part concerns me, Mr. Speaker. In fact, it's not even a little part, it's actually quite a major part for victims to actually have to stand up and defend or to progress their own causes. They often need just that somebody there to be a friend, to be a support, to guide them along that way, Mr. Speaker. It's said that less than 10% of sexual violence and domestic violence actually gets reported, Mr. Speaker, and because of that, there are so many more people that really need the support to cope with what's happened to them, as well as these people that are having the offenders turn up next door to them. We really need to make sure that the system supports people and helps people to actually report the abuse or the violence that's happened to them, so that they don't actually go through life actually unsupported and unlistened to. We really need to change the system so that people feel that they can actually go and report the various crimes that have been committed to them, against them, Mr. Speaker. One more, thank you. So, Mr. Speaker, the 5-year sentence that was originally in the bill, the 5-year sentence before people could be, it didn't apply to them. I'm glad that's been reduced to 2 years, Mr. Speaker. The crimes were too serious at the 5-year end of the scale, and in fact anybody that's had any sort of violence against them, sexual or physical, it doesn't really matter how violent it is, even lower levels of offending against them, Mr. Speaker, are traumatic. And so it's good that we're now looking at the 2-year sentence, so that people who have been sentenced to 2 years actually cannot Mr. Speaker, have these they have these non-conflict orders against them.
Member's time has expired. I call Jan Logie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'm pleased to rise and take a call on this, the third reading of the victims' orders against